Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. In this video, I am going to discuss CAT 2021 Slot 2 Quant Solutions. So let's have a look at the questions and the best possible way of solving them. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like my content if you enjoyed it. Here's the first question. It says consider the pair of equations. We are given two equations and we are also given that x is greater than y. We need to find the value of x minus y. Okay. So if we see these two equations, these are quadratic equations involving two variables. So the best thing that we can do is we can add or subtract these. Okay, so let us try to add these equations. What do we get in that case? And this is plus y, that is equal to 34. Okay, so if we add this, we will get x square plus y square minus 2xy minus x plus y equals to 56. Okay, now if we see this, this is x minus y ka whole square, or we can say this is x minus y whole square. Okay, and this is minus, we can say x minus y, that is equal to 56, and we have given that x is greater than y, so we have taken x minus y. Fine, so in this we can say that x minus y is common. So if we take x minus y out common, we get x minus y inside this, and this will be minus 1. Okay, x minus y and x minus y into x minus y, and this is x minus y into minus 1. So this is equal to 56. Okay, now we can simply see that this is like one number minus one less than that. So can we say this 8 and 7? 8 into 7 is 56. So this is 8 and this is 7. 8 minus 1, 7. So x minus y will be 8. Next question. Log 2. So this is a standard logarithm question which is asked each and every year. Right? So it can be done this way. Log 2, 3 plus log 3, 4 plus log 4. So nested log function, it appears almost every time. So you must know how to solve these questions. That is equal to, so if you bring it here, so it becomes 2. So log 2, 2 means 4. So this 3 plus log 3, 4 plus log 4, x minus 1. This should be equal to 4, right? So log 2, 2 means 4. Okay, so if we subtract 3, it will become 1. So log 3, 4 plus log 4, x minus 1 will be equal to 1. 4 minus 3. Okay, then next we have, this is log 3 and this is 1. So this expression should become 3. 4 plus log 4 of x minus 1 is equal to 3. Okay, so this gives us log 4 of x minus 1 equals to minus 1. Okay, now this is base is 4, so this will become 4 to the power minus 1. So x minus 1 equals 4 to the power minus 1, which is 1 upon 4. Okay, so we get x is equal to 1 upon 4 plus 1, that is 5 upon 4. But it is asking 4x. So simply multiply by 4, we get the answer as 5. So a standard logarithm, nested logarithm question which is asked almost every year. Two trains A and B were moving in opposite directions, their speeds being in the ratio 5:3. The front end of A crossed the rear end of B 46 seconds after the front ends of the train had crossed each other. It took another 69 seconds for the rear ends of the trains to cross each other. The ratio of length of train A to that of train B is. So let us say these are the two trains. Okay, they are passing each other. Now, see, if they're going in opposite directions, the relative speed will be sum of these two speeds. So it does not matter whatever is the ratio of this is redundant information. The reason being, since they are going in opposite directions, right? So the relative speed will come into picture. So if it is 5:3, 2:1, 4:3, anything, it does not matter, right? So what matters is See, it is saying that it took, let's say train A. So this is train A and this is train B. Okay. It says that the front end of train A crossed the rear end of train B 46 seconds. So it took 46 seconds to cover this. Okay, it took 46 seconds and it took another 69 seconds for the rear end of the trains to cross each other. So in 46 seconds it reached from here to here and it took 69 seconds to cross its length. It took another 69. So in this 46 seconds it has crossed this length, and in the next 69 seconds it will cross its own length. Okay, now both trains are moving, it's not that they are stationary, so both trains are moving. So the ratio of length, if we talk about the distance, so distance is in the ratio, distance is directly proportional to time taken. Okay, because speed is constant, right? So in both cases the speed is the total speed of these two trains. So it does not matter that, since speed will remain constant, so we will not take this into picture. So distance is directly proportional to time. Now it is taking 46 seconds to cover B. Okay, so let's say train of length of B upon length of A will be equal to, so we need to find the ratio of length of A to B. So length of A to length of B will be equal to the time taken to cover its distance and time taken to cover this distance. So this will come as 3:2. Okay. So that is the answer to this question. Let's see the next question. Anil can paint a house in 60 days while Bimal can paint it in 84 days. Anil 60, Bimal 84. Right. So the best thing here is we take the LCM. Let's say the work is equal to 420 is the LCM. So Anil will do 7 units and Bimal will do 5 units. Anil starts painting, and after 10 days, Bimal and Charu join him. So in 10 days, 70 units are done. Okay. Now remaining is now Bimal and Charu join him. So Anil is not leaving. Okay. So all of them are working together. They complete the painting in 14 more days. So in 10 days, 70 units are done. Remaining painting is of 350 units. And it is done in 14 days. So if we divide by 14, that is we get 25 units per day. Okay. In 25 we have A, B and C. Okay. A is doing 7 units. B is doing 5 units. So that means C is doing 13 units. Okay. C is doing 13 units. Then we have to find that what is the share of Charu. And they are paid 21,000 for this job. So total payment is 21,000 and total work is 420 units. And how much is Charu contributing to it? Charu is working for 14 days. So 13 into 14, that is the contribution. 13 into 14, that's the contribution. So if we see this, this is 50 times. So 50 into 4, 14 is 700. 700 into 13, 9100. That will be the answer. Another way to do it is by seeing the options. See, it's a multiple of 13. You can see that this is the only multiple of 13 given in the options. Okay, that could have been, you could have skipped a step, but this is how you do it. 21,000 is paid, and how much contribution Charu has? 420 is the total work, and 13 units per day into 14 days, because it's working for 14 days. So that will be the answer, 9,100. The sides AB and CD of a trapezium ABCD are parallel, with AB being the smaller side. P is the midpoint of CD and ABPD is a parallelogram. Okay, so let us draw this trapezium. So it says that ABCD is a trapezium and AB is the smaller side. P is the midpoint of CD. So this is P. And it says that ABPD is a parallelogram. ABPD, it's a parallelogram. Okay. If the difference between the areas of the parallelogram ABPD, this and BPC. This minus this is 10 square centimeter. Okay, you have to find the area of trapezium ABCD. Now see these, in both these figures, the base is same. Okay, the base is same because P is the midpoint of CD. Now if the base is same, and we know that in parallelogram the area is base into height, and in your triangle the area is half base into height. Okay, now their perpendicular distance is same. This is the height of the image. Okay, so height is same and their base is also same. So area of triangle will be half of the area of parallelogram. So let us say its area is A, its area will be 2A. So the difference, it is given as 10, right? So 2A minus A is 10. So triangle's area is 10, parallelogram's area is 20. So this is 10, this is 20. Area of trapezium will be 30. A very simple question. Okay, let's see the next one. If a rhombus has area 12 square centimeter and side length 5 centimeter, the length of its longer diagonal is. Alright, so so whenever you have this confusion, right, you cannot think in your brain, you can just draw these figures. Okay, it's better to draw the figures and get the answers right. So this side length is 5 and the area is 12. Okay, we know that in a rhombus these diagonals are perpendicular bisectors. So let us say this part is x and this part is y. Okay, so the total diagonal length is 2x and this total length is 2y. Now what we are given? We are given two things. First thing is given that area is 12 square centimeter. So area will be half of product of diagonals 2x into 2y, that is equal to 12. So we get that 2xy is equal to 12. Okay. Second thing that we know is this is a right angle triangle. So we can say that x square plus y square is equal to 25. Okay, now what we need to find? We need to find the length of the longer diagonal. So if we add these two values, what do we get? X square plus y square plus 2xy is equal to 37. Okay, so this means x plus y will be equal to root 37. Okay, if we add these two, so this is first equation, second equation. So if we say second plus first, and similarly, if we subtract the first equation from the second equation, we get x square plus y square minus 2xy is equal to 13. So this gives x minus y is equal to root 13. Okay, so if we add these two, what do we get? We get 2x is equal to root 37 plus root 13. So x is the longer one. We are taking x minus y. Okay, so just for the representation purpose, I'll change it to x and y respectively. So x is the longer one. Okay, x is the longer one that we have taken, because that is why we are taking x minus y is equal to root 13, assuming that x is the longer side. So we need to find the diagonal. Now a possible mistake that people could do is here is pick this as the answer by picking. So no need to calculate x, we need to find 2x. We have to find the longer diagonal, right? X is just the half of the diagonal. So a possible pitfall could have been picking this as the answer. So this is not the answer. The answer is this, root 37 plus root 13. Let D and E be points on sides AB and AC respectively of triangle ABC. Okay, so let's again draw a figure and try to find this. So let's make a triangle ABC. Such that AD ratio BD is equal to 2 ratio 1. AD ratio BD is 2 ratio 1. Okay, and AE ratio ACE is equal to 2 ratio 3. AE ratio CE is equal to 2 ratio 3. Okay, so this is another triangle that we have. If the area of triangle AD is 8 centimeter square centimeter, the area of triangle ABC in square centimeter is. Now, when we have a triangle within another triangle, okay, and we are given the ratio of the partitions. So, how do we find this area is? So, area of triangle ADE will be equal to area of triangle ABC. Now, in what partition are we reducing the sides? So, AD upon AB. So, this is the smaller side upon larger side. So, that is AD upon AB. And we are also reducing this. So, AE, smaller triangle, side of smaller triangle upon side of longer triangle. So, AE upon AC. So, that should be the case. So, AD is given as 8 and ABC is we need to find into AD upon AB will be, this is 2 ratio 1, so 2 by 3, and this is 2 ratio 3, so 2 by 5. So this gives us that ABC will be equal to 2 into 3 into 5, that is 30. So another answer that was 30 in this paper. So that area of trapezium was also 30 and area of this triangle is also 30. So this is how we solve this question. Next question. For all real values of x, the range of this function is. Alright, so we are given a function and we need to find its range. Now this fraction is in the form of a fraction. Okay. But if you observe this, like if I multiply this by 2, 2x square, 4x and 8. Let us say this function is y. Y is equal to x square plus 2x plus 4 upon 2x square plus 4x plus 9. If I multiply it by 2, I'll get 2y is equal to 2x square plus 4x plus 8 upon 2x square plus 4x plus 9. Now it looks very close to this number, okay? But if I what I can do is let us modify this number. So if I add 1 to it and subtract 1, if I add and subtract 1, so this becomes equal to this. So can I say that this upon this is 1? 2x square plus 4x plus 9 upon this is 1. And we can split it into two parts, minus 1 upon 2x square plus 4x plus 9. So whenever you have a function given in the form of a fraction, so try to split it this way. Like try to get an integer and another function. Okay. Now we need to find this maximum and minimum values. Okay. Range means maximum and minimum value. Now, what is the minimum value of this function? Minimum value of 2x square minus 4 plus 4x plus 9. So we know that minimum of, so there are two ways to do it, three ways actually. One way is to like use differentiation. You can say that if we take the differentiation, so we will say 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. So you'll say that x is equal to minus 1 pe minimum hoga, right? So you put that value. Second, like you make the squares. Okay, so how do you make squares? You will say 2x square plus 4x plus 2 plus 7. So you say that x plus 1 ka 2 times of x plus 1 ka whole square plus 7. Okay, so in this case if you put this, so you say that this is 2 minus 4 plus 9, that is 7. Okay, one method is differentiation. Second method is making the squares of this. So you say that this value minimum value is 0. So this minimum will be 7. Okay. Third way is like you should remember that whenever you are given a quadratic equation and this a is positive, a part, that means the coefficient of this is positive. So minimum exists at minus b upon 2a. Okay, so simple. Minus b upon 2a, that is minus 4 upon 2 into 2. So that is minus 1. So the same result that we get here, we'll get here as well. So remember this thing, that minimum is at minus b upon 2a. Okay, so we put that, we get the minimum value as 7. So when this is minimum, so 2y is equal to 1 minus 1 by 7. So we get that 6 by 7. Okay, so we get y is equal to 3 by 7. Now this is the, now when this is minimum, so we are subtracting from 1. Okay, so this is the maximum value of y. Maximum value is 3 by 7. Okay, okay, and then if we talk about this thing, sorry, this is the minimum value of this, we are taking minimum value. And the second case that we will take is, we will find the maximum value of this. What is the maximum value of this? Maximum value, if we talk about, we can say that it is it can go up to infinity, right? If we put this as infinity, now this will be almost equal to 0, right? Because this is, it will never become, it will become infinity, close to infinity. So 2y will be almost equal to 0, right? It will not become it will have some value, it will become close to 0. So 2y will be 1. Now y equal to 1 by 2. Now in this case, remember that we will choose this one because it will never become 1 by 2. Okay, it will always remain, it will become very close to 0, but it will not become exactly 0. Okay, so it will not become 1, it is slightly less than 1. So that is why it will be slightly less than 1 by 2. But this is this it will happen. So if we put minus 1, so we get an exact value, right? So 3 by 7 is a permissible value, but 1 by 2 is something that is the limit, right? It will never be 1 by 2, it will be just less than 1 by 2. So that is your answer. So that is the range of this function. So one needs to be careful about these things, ki where is it the it is, one needs to include the values and exclude the values. We will include 3 by 7 because we will exact get 3 by 7 in this case if we put minus 1. And in the other case, it will become almost equal to 0, but it will never be 0. Okay, so that's why 1 by 2 is in this open bracket. All right, let's see the next question. In a football tournament, a player has played a certain number of matches and 10 more matches are to be played. If he scores a total of 1 goal over the next 10 matches, his overall average will be 0.15 goals per match. On the other hand, if he scores a total of 2 goals over the next 10 matches, his average will be zero point 0.2 goals per match. The number of matches he has played is, okay. So let us say that he has played n matches, okay, and goals, let it be he has goals per match be x for now, okay, and the total goals will be nx. Now he will be playing 10 more matches. Okay, he'll be playing 10 more matches, and if he does one more goal, so his total goals will be nx plus 1. Okay, so forget this thing. So his total goals will be nx plus 1. So what will be his goals per match? Nx plus 1 upon n plus 10. So that is equal to 0.15, that is given to us, right? So we can say that nx plus 1 is equal to uh, 0.15 n plus 1.5. And if he does two goals, if he does two goals, so he will be doing nx plus 2 goals. Okay, so he has already done nx goals, and if we say that nx plus 2 upon n plus 10, so goals per match in this case will be 0.15. In this case, it is zero point 0.2. So this is zero point 0.2 in this scenario. So we will just simplify it. Nx plus 2 is equal to 0.2n plus 2. So we subtract this first equation and second equation. So if we subtract it, we get 1 equals to, this is 0.5n plus zero point 0.5. So 0.5n is zero point 0.5. So this gives us n is equal to 10. Okay, so that will be the answer to this question. So another thing to way to think is, if he scores one more goal, his average one goal can change his average by uh, point point uh, 5, right? So that means after 10 matches he must have played one goal is increasing his average in 10 matches. Okay, so that means his average he must have played afterwards he must have played 20 matches. Okay, so zero point 0.5, and that is the change in his in 10 matches, right? So one goal is changing 0.05, so after he must have played 20 matches. So before we need to find before he must have played 10 matches in the tournament. Okay, so that is what we get as the answer to this question. Okay, so let's see the next question. For all possible integers n satisfying this equation, the number of integer values of this is equal to. All right, so let's start with the lower limit. So it says that 2 plus 2 raised to the power n plus 2 is greater than equal to 2.25. So it says 2 raised to the power n plus 2 is greater than equal to 0.25, which is equal to 2 raised to the power minus 2. So it says that n plus 2 is greater than equal to minus 2. So n is greater than equal to minus 4. Okay, so n starts from minus 4. And if we look at the upper limit, so it says that 2 raised to the power n plus 2 is less than equal to 200. So we subtract this. So we can take up to 128, that is 2 raised to the power 7. 2 raised to the power n plus 2 is less than equal to 2 raised to the power 7, because 8 is not permissible. Okay, so n plus 2 is less than equal to 7. So n will go from minus 4 to 5. So n ranges from minus 4 to 5, but that should not be our answer. Okay, so we need to check this thing as well. It says number of integer values. Okay, so if we put n is equal to minus see, for an integer we should get 3 raised to the power n plus 1 should be an integer. So it means that n plus 1 minimum, n plus 1 should be 0, because if we have negative power it will not be an integer. Okay, so n plus 1 should be 0. So that means n should start from minus 1, that is the minimum value of n. We cannot take minus 4 because that will give us uh, like a non-integer value. So we will consider n from minus 1 to 5. Okay, so minus 1 to 5 we have minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 7 values of n. That is the answer to this question. Okay, the next question is, for all real numbers x, the condition 3x minus 20 plus mod 3x minus 40 is equal to 20 necessarily holds if. Now this is a mod based question. We know that mod is the distance between 2 points. Okay, so let us convert this equation like this: y minus 20 and y minus 40, that equals to 20. Okay, so we have 2 points as 20 and 40. Now we need to find a point such that the distance y minus 20, what does it mean? It means the distance from 20, and it means distance from 40. So the total should be uh, equal to 20. Now what happens is, if we take this value, if we take a value more than 40, what will happen? More than 40, this distance will be more than 20, right? If we talk about y minus 20, it will be more than 20. Okay, so it will be greater than 20. And see, we mod is never negative. Okay, so this is plus some positive value, so it will be greater than 20. Okay, so this is not permissible, so we cannot have anything beyond 40. If we take something beyond 20, what will happen is this distance from here to 40 will be more than 20. Okay, if we take something on this side, so if we take anything, let us say we take 10, 10 minus 40 is 30. Okay, and this will be some positive number. It has to be a positive number. So again, this will be greater than 20. That is not permissible. Okay, now let us see that if we put at 20 and 40, what will happen? If we put at 20, this will be 0 and this will be 20. Fine. And if you put at 40, this will be 0 and this will be 20. Okay, so we know the range is 20 to 40. So y is between 20 to 40, or we can say that 3x is between 20 to 40, or we can say that x is between 6.67 to 13.33. Okay, now the question says necessarily holds. Okay, so we need to check. Now in this case we are including, we are saying x is greater than 6, so we are also considering values like 6.1, 6.2, etc., which will not be correct. Now x is greater than 7, x is less than 12. So it includes all these values. It includes within this range. Okay. So basically it is not giving the exact range, but it is asking in which range it will be true. Okay. 7 and 12 lie within these two values. Now what is the problem with other options? 10 and 15. So in this case we are also considering 14, 14.1, which is outside this range. So this is incorrect. Okay, so this was a tricky question. Tricky in the sense that people must have figured out these values and they were not able to answer that which is the right one out of them. So again we need to consider that if we are considering 14, we can also have values like 13.8, 13.9, etc., which are beyond this range. So this is the only thing which is, it is saying that necessarily holds true. Okay, so in this case we have x between these two values, so that is why it is a permissible limit. Okay, in others we have outliers as well, and hence we will reject those options. So this was a difficult question, provided that like many students were unable to understand what does it actually mean. Okay, so let's see the next question. Anil, Bobby, and Chintu jointly invest in a business and agree to share the overall profit in the proportion of their investments. Anil's share of investment is 70%. His share of profit decreases by 420 if the overall profit goes down from 18% to 15%. Chintu's share of profit increases by rupees 80 if the overall profit goes up from 15% to 17%. The amount invested by Bobby is. So we have three people, A, B, C. Okay. A is investing 70%. Now, one thing that we need to consider is we are not given the total investment. Now, when the profit shifts from 18% to 15%, so 3% of the profit, and he has 70% share in it. Okay, that changes 420. 3% of 70% of profit, because he will get 70% of the profit, and the change is 3%. So like if we talk about this, he has 40, sorry, if 3% of the this is 420. Okay, so this gives us 2.1% of investment is equal to 420. So that means investment is 20,000. This is 200, and into 100 that will make investment is 20,000. So total investment is 20,000. A's investment is 14,000. Okay. Now next thing is Chintu's share of profit increases by 80%, 80 if the overall profit goes from 15 to 17%. Now the change in profit is 2%. Okay, we do not know his contribution in the profit, and of, let us say, he has n% contribution. Okay, 2% of n% of investment is equal to 80 rupees. Okay, and investment we know is 20,000. We, from this we figure out the total investment, that is 20,000. So 2% of n%, n will be 2% of 20,000 is 4,000. Okay, so 80 by 4,000. 2% of, sorry, 400, right? 1% will be 200. 2% of 20,000 is 400. So n is 80 by 400, that is 20%. So his contribution is 20%. Okay, so his contribution is 20%. That means B's contribution will be 10%. So 10% of 20,000. So his contribution is 2,000 rupees. So from A, we found out the total investment because he was getting 3% of this 3% difference on 70% of investment. Okay, that is 420. So we figured out that what is the investment, total investment. Now we know we do not know this percent share, but we know the change in his profit. So change in his profit is 2% of n% of his investment. So n% we need to find out. We know the total investment from here. Okay, and we figure out that he invested 20%. So this person invested 70, C invested 20, so B will invest 10% of 20,000, which is 2,000 rupees. From a container filled with milk, 9 liters of milk are drawn and replaced with water. So, this is a question based on replacement. Okay, so how does it impact in this case is uh, once it is replaced with water, next from the same container, 9 liters are drawn and again replaced. If the volume of milk and water in the container are now in the ratio 16:9, the capacity of the container in liters is. So we have a formula that X is equal to, like whatever, like let us say we need to find the final volume, right? So let us say the final ratio Z is equal to X 1 minus X by Y raised to the power n. Okay, now initially we have uh, like we have uh, like one, right? We have that is like if we talk about milk and water. So if initially milk the portion is 1. Okay, and now the final portion is 16 out of, so we are talking about the pure liquid. So when we talk about the pure liquid, the portion, right? If you want to talk in terms of quantity or if you want to talk in terms of ratio, the same thing applies. So 16:9, so milk to water is 16:9. So milk to total, right? So initially milk was 100%, 1, or you can write percentage also, that is also fine. 16 upon 100, 64%, that will be one and the same thing. Okay, so this portion, this is the final volume ratio. If this was the initial 100%, that is equal to 1 minus, so how much are we replacing? We are replacing 9 liters. Okay, so we need to find that. Let us say what is the portion replaced. Okay, so what is the portion replaced? Whole square. Okay, now we say that portion, we get that the portion replaced is, so we can say that 1 minus portion that is replaced by whole square. Okay, so we get this as 4 by 5. Okay, so if we take square root, so 1 minus p is the portion replaced. 1 minus p is 4 by 5. So we say that p we are replacing is 1 by 5. Okay, so 1 by 5 is 9 liters. Okay, so we are replacing 9 liters out of it. So we can say that the quantity is 45. Or the other way is, sorry, this is y by x. Or other way around, we can put it is like that also. Let us say, we can say that this is 9 by, let us say the volume is v. Okay, 9 by v ka whole square. Okay, so we will get that 1 minus 9 by v is equal to 1 minus 4 by 5. So 9 by v is 1 by 5. So we get v is equal to 45. So that way also we can do it. Okay, so we have initially we have like after two replacements it becomes 16 by 25. Okay, so initial is 100, right? Or we can write 1, then 1 replacement and 2 replacement. 2 replacement it is becoming 16 by 25. So 1 replacement it should become 4 by 5. Okay, so again we can say that this is 1 minus 9 by v is equal to 4 by 5. So we get v is equal to 45 liters. Standard question based on replacement. Next question. Three positive integers x, y, z are in arithmetic progression. Y minus x is greater than 2 and x, y, z equals 5 times of x plus y plus z. We need to find the value of z minus x. Alright, so when three numbers are in arithmetic progression, okay, so the central number is the average of the other two numbers. So we can say that x plus z is equal to 2y. Let us substitute in this equation. X y z is equal to 5 into, now x plus z is 2y. Okay, x plus z is 2y, 2y plus y, that is 3y. Okay, so y gets cancelled. We say that xz is equal to 15. Now these are integers. Okay, we are given that these are positive integers. So we can say that x and z, and in arithmetic progression y is greater than x. So that means z will be greater than y, and this will be this. Okay, so one variable we can think of is 1 and 15, another we can think of is 3 and 5. So in this case we will get 1 and 15, in this case we will get 3 4 5. Now y minus 6 is greater than 2, so in this case the difference is coming as 1, so not permissible. Okay, in this case we get the difference as 7, so that is permitted. Now we have to find z minus x. Z minus x we will get 15 minus 1, that is 14. That is the right answer. Okay. Next question. For a four-digit number, the sum of its digits in the thousands, hundreds, and tens places is 14. The sum of its digits in the hundreds, tens, and units places is 15. And the tens place digit is 4 more than the units place digit. Then the highest possible four-digit number satisfying the above conditions is. So we are given four-digit number. So let us say the digits are A, B, C, D. It says sum of digits in thousands, hundreds, and tens places. So these three digits add to 14, and sum of digits in the hundreds, tens, and units place. So these three digits add to 15. Okay, tens place is 4 more than the units place. All right, so let us do one thing. So we are given that a plus b plus c is equal to 14, and b plus c plus d is equal to 15. So when we subtract this, we get that b plus c is common, d minus a is equal to 1. So can we say that d is equal to a plus 1? So let us say these are the digits a, b, c, d. This is a. This will be a plus 1. Okay. And we are also given that the tens place is 4 more than the units place. So if this is C, so this is A plus 1, this will be 4 more. So A plus 5. The highest possible four-digit number. So we need to find the highest possible such a number, right? Now, if we have to maximize this, we know that out of these three digits, C is the largest digit. Out of A, C, and D, C is the largest. So maximum can be 9. A plus 5 is equal to 9. So A is equal to 4. Now if A is equal to 4, we need to put 4, we need to 5, and we need to put 9. Now, a common mistake that people would do is they would put 9 here to say that okay, this can be 4995. No, we have a constraint here. We have to see that sum of digits, right? So first three places the sum has to be 14. So 4 plus 9 13, we get 14. So it satisfies all these conditions. 14, these three digits add to 15. This is 4 more than the last digit. So all conditions being satisfied, the answer is 4195. Next question. Raj invested 10,000 in a fund. At the end of first year, he incurred a loss, but his balance was more than 5,000. This balance, when invested for another year, grew, and the percentage growth in the second year was 5 times the percentage of loss in the first year. If the gain of Raj from the initial investment over the 2-year period is 35%, then the percentage of loss in the first year is. Now, in this case, we will get an equation. We will get an equation like this. Let us say the percentage loss in the first year. Let us say that is x percent. Okay, so we will say that like 10,000 was his initial amount. Okay, 10,000 ka if we put this as 100 minus x by 100, that will be the amount after year one. After year one, that will be his amount. Now in the second year he makes the profit, right? And that growth is 5 times the percentage of loss. So percentage of loss was x%. So now this profit will be 100 plus 5x, because the increase will be 5x by this. So that will be equal to uh, now the final amount he's getting is 35% more, right? So he's getting 13,500. This is at the end of year two. Now you get to solve this thing, right? So it will take time to solve. Like you will get a quadratic equation, you will remove this. So you'll say 100 minus x into 100 plus 5x is equal to 13,500. We will get a quadratic equation, we can solve it. The best way is to go by options. Look at the options. If we put 15, we get 85 into some number, we cannot get 100. Okay, so we cannot get 100 in this case. If we put 95 into 145, we cannot get 100. Okay, if we put 10, so this will be 90 into 150, that is 13,500. Now you must be thinking that should we check this option? So this is 30 into this is 450. That is also giving us 13,500. Suppose this option appeared first, right? So what will happen is if you are going option by option, you would encounter 10 first and you would mark this as the answer. But if it is 70, then also it works. See, 100 minus 70 is 30 and 100 plus 350 is 450. You are getting the same result. Is there any condition given here? Yes, we are given that at the end of first year, but his balance was more than 1,000. So if we consider 70, his balance would have become 3,000. Hence, that is not the correct answer. Okay, so the answer is 10%. There is in a quadratic, we will get two solutions, but we have to reject one because of the condition given here. So the answer is 10%. Easy question, just that the best way to approach is using options and also keeping in mind the constraint given to us. Next question says, suppose one of the roots of the equation ax square minus bx plus c is equal to 0 is 2 plus root 3, where a, b and c are rational numbers and a is not equal to 0. If b equal to c cube, then mod of a equals. We know that whenever we have a quadratic equation, we solve it by putting that like if we talk about the solution of this equation, so that will be b. Why we are taking b? Because standard format is plus b, right? So we take negative of this, b square, b plus minus b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Okay. Now what happens is, uh, in a quadratic equation, if you get this kind of root like 2 plus root 3, so this means this must be like if we say that this is plus and minus of some irrational number. Okay, so we are getting an irrational number. So whenever you are given one root like this, second root has to be conjugate. So if one root is 2 plus root 3, second root is 2 minus root 3. Okay, now what operation we should do in this case is we need to find the sum and product of roots, so that we will get the values of ABC. So sum of the roots is 4, simply adding, and product of the roots is 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3. 2 square minus root 3 square. 4 minus 3, that is equal to 1. Okay. Now sum of the roots is given by minus this upon this. So B upon A, and product of the roots is given by C upon A. Remember in this question there was a trick that they have given minus B, right? So if you recall minus B upon A, you need to change sign here. That is very important. So sometimes what happens is we make mistake in this sense, right? So we think that uh, like this is minus b upon a. That's why you should remember that what actually b is. So b upon a is equal to 4. So we can say b is equal to 4a, and c upon a is equal to 1. So c equal to a. Now we are given that b is equal to c cube. Okay, so if we if you take this is equal to cubing this, so we get that 4a is equal to a cube. So this gives a square is equal to 4. So a will be equal to plus minus 2. That is why mod a will be 2. So that is the answer to this question. So only thing to take care of is this is minus b, not the standard format of b, because in that case one might get it incorrect as well. Next question is based on a sequence. It says that for a sequence of real numbers x1, x2 and so on, x1 minus x2 plus x3 minus x4 and so on is equal to n square plus 2n. So we need to find the sum of x49 and x50. Okay. So the best way is to start with small numbers. Okay. So let's start with 1. We will put 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. That I think that much would be enough. So if you put 1, so we get that x1 is equal to 1 plus this is 1 plus 2, that is 3. If we put x1 minus x2, that will be equal to, so putting n is equal to 2, we will get 4 plus this, if we add, this is 2 to 4, that is 8. Okay, so x1 minus x2 is equal to 8. So we'll get x2 is equal to minus 5. Okay, because if we have uh, this is 3 minus 3 minus x2 is this, so x2 will be minus 5. Next, if we put x1 minus x2 plus x3, we get that this is 3 square. So let me write these values like this: x1, that is 3, x2 is equal to minus 5. Now this is equal to 9 plus 6, that is 15, right? We know the sum is 8, so we get x3 as 7. Now x1 minus x2 plus x3 minus x4 equals to 4 square is 16 plus 8, that is 24. Okay, so we are subtracting 24, like we are saying that this minus x4 is 24. Okay, so x4 should be minus 9. Okay, next if we see this, if we continue to x5, so this thing plus x5 is equal to n square plus 2n, so that is 25 plus 10 is equal to 35. If we are adding x5, it becomes 35, so that means x5 is equal to 11. Okay, now next is this minus x6, so that is 36 plus 12, it is 48. So when we are subtracting x6, it is becoming 48. So that means x6 is minus 13. So we see a pattern, right? So we see that 3 minus 5, 7 minus 9, and we need to find x49 and x50. So if you see odd one is at odd place it is a positive number, and even place it is a negative number. So odd and positive and negative, positive negative. So if we see that this plus this is minus 2, x3 plus x4 is minus 2, x5 plus x6 is minus 2, so this will also be minus 2. So in such questions, you just need to find the initial few values, and those initial values will help you determine the sequence, and you can easily answer for larger values. You do not have to calculate for larger values. Next question. Two pipes A and B are attached to an empty water tank. Pipe A fills the tank while pipe B drains it. If pipe A is opened at 2 p.m. and pipe B is opened at 3 p.m., then the tank becomes full at 10 p.m. Instead, if pipe A is opened at 2 p.m. and pipe B is opened at 4 p.m., the tank becomes full at 6 p.m. If pipe B is not opened at all, the time in minutes taken to fill the tank is. Okay. So what we will do in this case is, let us say pipe A, its fill rate is equal to A liters per hour. Okay. So since we are given the time in hour, so let us say fill rate of A is so fill rate, right? So pipe B is a draining pipe. So let us say it is draining rate is equal to B liters per hour. Now, in the first case, what is happening? A is opened at 2 p.m. Okay, and it tank is full at 10 p.m. So, pipe A will fill 8 A liters, isn't it? 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. It will fill 8 liters, 8A. And B is opened at 3 p.m. and till 10 p.m. So, 3 to 10, it will work for 7 hours. So 7B, and it will drain it. That is why we are taking negative, right? So this means this is equal to full tank. Second case, the pipe is opened at 2 p.m. and the tank becomes full at 6 p.m. So it is filling 4A 2 to 6 p.m. and this pipe is opened at 4 p.m. So it is working for 2 hours from 4 to 6 p.m. So this is also full tank. This is full tank. This is also full tank. So we can say that 8A minus 7B is equal to 4A minus 2B. So we get a relation 4A is equal to 5B. Okay, so that we can say that B is equal to 4 by 5A or 0.8A. Okay, now we will substitute B in this equation. Full tank is this. So 8A minus 7 into 0.8, that is 5.6A. So full tank is 2.4A. Or if you put in this equation also, this is 1.6A, 4 minus 1.6 is 2.4A. So full tank is 2.4A and its fill rate is 2A. So that means it takes 2.4 hours. So A takes 2.4 hours to fill the tank. Now 2.4 hours is 60 into 2.4. We get the time as 144 minutes. So it takes 144 minutes to fill the tank if only pipe A is working. A person buys tea of three different qualities at 800, 500 and 300 per kg, and these amounts brought are in the ratio 2 ratio 3 ratio 5. She mixes all the tea and sells 1/6 of the mixture at 700 per kg. The price per kg at which she should sell the remaining tea to make an overall profit of 50% is. So first thing we need to find out that what is the price of the mixture. Okay. So 8, 5 and 3. Removing the hundreds. So they are mixed in proportion of 2, 3 and 5. Okay. So total will be 16 plus 15 plus 15, that is 46. And we have 10 kgs, right? 2, 3, 5. So total is 10. So that is 4.6 per kg. Okay. Now that means like I removed the 100, so it will become 460, right? So cost, mixture ka cost is 460 rupees. Now it is sold at 1/6 is sold at 700 per kg, and we need to sell that remaining one to make an overall profit of 50%. Now what we have three things, right? So we have higher value, we have lower value, and we have the mean value, right? So higher value is given, one of the values is given as 700. Okay. Now what is the mean price that we should sell? We should sell at a profit of 50%. So 50% profit means that we need to sell an average price of 690. So that means 700 is the higher value. Okay. So let us say the lower value, we need to find out what is the lower value. So we have higher value is 700. We are selling at a higher price. Mean value that we need to sell is at 690. We need to find this value. Right. So let us say this is the lower value at which we need to sell. So obviously 692 is out of picture. We need to sell at a lower price than 692. Okay. Now this and this, that will give us the ratio in which it is sold. This is 1/6. 1/6 means one part, and this is lower value should be 5 parts. So this ratio, this should be 1:5 because it is 1/6. Okay, you need to keep in mind that this is 1/6, so this will be 5/6. This is 1/6 of the t, this is the 5/6 of the t. So ratio is 1:5. So what we need to do is we need to subtract. So we subtract, we get 10, and we subtract, this is 690 minus L. 690 minus L, this is 1:5. So this is 2:10. It should be 2 and 10. Okay, if you reduce it, so this is 2 and this will be 10. So L will come as 688. So that's how we solve allegation based question. So it was a good question, lengthy, difficult question. First of all, you need to find the price of mixture, and then we need to apply allegation to find at what rate should she sell the remaining tea. So the answer turns out to be 688 rupees. Next question. The number of ways of distributing 15 identical balloons, 6 identical pencils, and 3 identical erasers among 3 children, such that each child gets at least 4 balloons and 1 pencil is. So we have 15 balloons, 6 pencils, and 3 erasers. Okay. First of all, we will give at least 4 balloons to everybody. Okay, so we have distributed 12 balloons. Okay. Now we need to give 1 pencil to everybody. So we have distributed 3 pencil. This has been distributed. Okay, so we are left with 3 balloons, and then if we have 3 pencils and 3 erasers. Okay, that we need to distribute, and we need to distribute to 3 children. Okay, now the minimum criteria is filled. Okay, the minimum criteria is filled. Now let us say if we distribute x, y, z, these are the 3 children, they are given a total of 3 items. Okay, they are given a total of 3 items, 3 balloon. Let us talk about balloons. So one person can receive any number out of this because minimum criteria is fulfilled. Okay, we have already fulfilled that. These are the thing given. Now we can give like if we are distributing balloons, let us say we distribute x balloons to the first child, y to the second, z to the third, and we can give 0 also. So basically we need to find the non-negative solutions to it, non-negative solution of this equation. Okay, so now non-negative solution, how do we do that? So if we are given an equation like this, what we do is uh, add the number of this, right? So how many values do we have? We have two symbols of plus, right? So 2 and add to this number 5, 5c, and in the this place you count these number of addition, number of partitions. So we have two partitions, so 5c2. So we can distribute the balloons in 10 ways. Okay, so we have to distribute 3 balloons that can be distributed in 10 ways. Now we have to distribute 3 pencils, right? Same will go with pencils also. X plus y plus z is equal to 3. So we will get 10 ways of distributing the pencil. And if we talk about the erasers, right? So same way we can distribute the erasers also, like x plus y plus z is equal to 3. So 10 ways of distributing balloons, 10 ways of distributing pencils, 10 ways of distributing erasers. So we can distribute this in 1000 ways. So the answer is 1000. Okay, so that was a core typical question on permutation combination, and one needs to know that how to find the uh, number of solutions of an equation, non-negative solution. So 3 equations, 10 10 solutions each, hence the answer is 1000. Next question. A box has 450 balls, each either white or black, there being as many metallic white balls as metallic black balls. If 40% of the white balls and 50% of the black balls are metallic, then the number of non-metallic balls in the box is. So we have white balls and we have black balls. Some of them are metallic, some of them are non-metallic. Okay, and we know that the grand total that we have is 450. Now it says that 40% of white balls, let us say there are 100x, 100w, and black balls is 100b. 40% of the white balls and 50% of the black balls are metallic. So we can say 40w and this is 50w, 50b. These are metallic in nature and they are equal, as many metallic white balls as metallic black balls. So this is equal to this. Okay. So we can say that W upon B is equal to 50 upon 40. So 5 by 4. Okay. So this is 5 by 4. Now what we need to do is, like, so this is 5 by 4. So this will be 250 and this will be 200. So remember that if we have different totals and a portion of the total is same, like 40% of white balls equals to 50% of black balls, so these are equal and the totals are different, so the totals are in the reverse ratio. Like we have 40 and 40 and 50, so take ratio as white ratio black will be 50 ratio 40, which is 5 ratio 4. So 250 here and 200 here. Okay. All right, so we need to find the non-metallic balls. Okay, so if we have 40, this is 100 white balls are metallic, 100 black balls are metallic. So we have 200 metallic balls. We need to find non-metallic. Non-metallic, we will have 250 balls, which are non-metallic in nature. Okay, so the answer will be 250. And that is the answer to this question. Okay, so this was the solution to the questions that were asked in the second slot of the QA section. I hope you must have got the solutions clearly of all the questions. So please don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the solutions of this video.